I need all the wins, yeah. Ain't no L's, I gotta get a no call to quits, yeah. Gotta keep on moving no matter how hard it gets, yeah. Better move out the way, cause I'm coming with harder hits. My head is as hard as a brick, but I'm harder than all it is. You better move, you might get knocked out, knocked out. You better move, you might get knocked out, knocked out. You better move, you might get knocked out, knocked out. You better move, you might get knocked out, knocked out. My heart on my sleeve, stress, seal my greed. That's how I get it, success ain't no giving. Some days I don't hit, I don't sleep. When I'm focused, I'm dangerous, down, wonder when I'm anxious. Ain't no limit till I tank, I'm running on fumes. The opposition don't amaze, the roads racing through the pavement. Get your hands out of my bag, I know that's because I've been in it. I don't need to brag, I guess that's what happens when you taking care of your business. But some family, you do the math. I'm out of my pocket, Houston, we got a problem. I ain't perfect, let them watch me elevating. Got them noxious, cause I'm the pilot in the cockpit. Nose diving in the house and whoo. Watch how I get it here, watch how I get it here, watch how I get it here.
It's time! Welcome to DFS by the Numbers with your host, Brady.
Better move, you might get knocked out, knocked out. You better move, you might get knocked out, knocked out. You better move, you might get knocked out.
What is up, everybody? Welcome to DFS by the Numbers and welcome to Best Bet for UFC Vegas 85. We got Nassourdine Imavov going against Dolidze. Looking forward to this episode of Best Bet. We have two newcomers for this year. We got TB Scouting MMA, and we got Mike Couch Warrior, and we got Gordo. Everybody knows Gordo, but we'll start with you, Gordo. Gordo, what is up? How do you feel about UFC Vegas 85?
Oh, I'm feeling like a veteran of the game at this point in time here. I got two newbies below me ready to show them the works, and that all starts with preparing. I've been, getting my calories, and I want to look just like peak male athletic performance, like Thomas Peterson, to get the night started. I'm ready for it. I'm dedicated, and then we're going to try to make some money this card. I'm looking forward to it. Happy just to talk fights and ready to break it down. Thanks for having me back on.
There you go. We got TB. TB, what is up? You looking forward to your first appearance on Best Bet?
I can't wait, man. This is going to be an amazing time. I've been following Brady since before I started my show, Chronic Combat. So just an honor to be here and be a part of the table. And hope I bring you guys some winning bets today. I think we're going to get it going.
Let's go. Looking forward to having you on. Last but not least, we got Couch Warrior in the building. Couch, what is up? You looking forward to this card?
Yes, sir. Thanks for having me on. It's a good card. Looking forward to it. Got a bunch of spots. Only really like underdogs on this one, so should be a good time.
Sounds good. All right, guys. So before we get started, if you guys could please do me a favor, leave a like on the video, subscribe here to the channel. We go live every Saturday, 2 hours prior to when the prelims start. I did link down Gordo's YouTube channel, TB's YouTube channel, and then Couch Warrior's YouTube channel down in the description below. Go subscribe to them and show them some love. And then quickly, the rules for Best Bet, you get one hypothetical unit to place on each bet. We're going to do 10 total bets. This week we have 13 fights, so these guys will get 3 passes. And that's pretty much it. We're going to use current lines as well that will show on the screen. And I think that's covering pretty much everything. Let's shout out the chat before we get into it. Fun card this week, UFC Vegas 85. I think there's a lot of spots sticking out. Can't wait to hear what these guys have to say. First one in the building. We got Victor De Jesus. What is up, Victor? We got Chronic Combat in the building. What is up? We got Sneak Peek, Boofy, Jermaine West. We got Aiden. We got Bag Boy, Number One Brother. We got Jason, MMA Goulash, Nate, Jonan, Yes Freak. We got Mick D. We got Teep Kick MMA. We got Miami. What is up, everybody? Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to smash the like button. But we have a lot to talk about, and we're going to kick it off with the people's main event. And it's Thomas Peterson versus Jamal Pogues. So kind of interesting line movement on this one. So Thomas Peterson opened up minus 270. He went all the way to like minus 155. I thought it might even close a little bit more, but just as of recent, he's now currently sitting at minus 177. And Jamal Pogues is sitting at plus 152. An absolutely disgusting fight to kick off the card, but we'll kick it to Gordo. Gordo, you have 3 passes. Are you betting on this one?
Hell no. I've been waiting for this. This is my main event of the night. I'm pumped. No, truthfully, it is a funny one, but if we got a fight like this, get the night started, let's get some money on it. I do think it is a lower level affair between two heavyweights. And if we look at the norm or the averages that heavyweight fights are finishing, I find it extremely odd that the fight doesn't go the distance as plus money at this point in time. You have a slop fest between two guys, including a guy in Peterson who is a primary finish. Never seen the judges' scorecards, and I don't think that happens here for the first time. Actually, it's blown down, so now best line's minus 115. It was plus money when I did my research, but it is a spot where I think that neither of these guys are in the physical shape or form to go out there and survive 15 minutes. They are guys who I don't think have the best cardio to do so. And on one side of things, you do have a guy in Peterson who is a primary finisher. I do think he has the ability to go out there and land some heavy ground and pound in that first round or die trying. So I do think this is a fight where we want to go out there, see some violence, because if there ain't any violence, it'll be a long 15 minutes between two big boys. So give me some violence, get the night started. -115, fight doesn't go the distance.
All right, Guru, taking some violence to kick it off. TB, what are you liking for the first fight of the night?
I'm so sorry. I got to pass on my first one on the show here. I wanted to bet Pogues, but I just can't bring myself to do it. So I'm going to do the smart thing for myself. And if I wanted to flip where I originally felt the other way, I'm not going to touch it. So this will be one of my passes.
All right. No, yeah, nothing wrong with that. This fight probably should be passed on, even though I do have a bet on it myself, unfortunately. Couch Warrior, what are you liking for the first fight of the card here?
So I do have a Pogues bet, but I got a much better line. I played the +230, so I won't be giving that one out. In terms of a bet, I'm going to go with Gordo here. -115, fight doesn't go. That's a pretty generous price for a heavyweight matchup, especially with Peterson never making it to a decision. Not a stats guy like Weezy, but I'm pretty sure that heavyweight totals, heavyweight fights end inside the distance more often than what the odds suggest. So I'm going to ride with the -115, fight doesn't go. Peterson either finishes him early or Pogues late is what I'm thinking.
Yeah, if Weezy was here, he would tell us. I think off the top of my head, it's like 64%, 63%, something like that. But maybe Weezy's in the chat. I don't know.
Well, Weezy's got the tits metric going, and for this one, there's double tits metric. I'll tell you that for sure.
Absolutely. So we got Gordo going with the fight doesn't go. We got Couchware going with the fight doesn't go, and then TV probably taking the smartest route and just passing on the fight. Let's see what you guys are saying in the chat. We got Mark in the building saying, I'm Brady's biggest fan. I think you might be, Mark. I mean, you commented something very disturbing on one of my videos this week. Let me read it here. You said, and I quote, "You can finish me in round one anytime you want."
My God.
And then this cool thing on YouTube, Mark, you can go back and look at, past comments. And then last week you commented, quote, "You are a -1,000 in my book. You submit me in the first 5 seconds." And then you also said, for UFC Vegas 84 week, I'd love to check out your package. So Mark,
he might be his biggest fan.
I think he might be my biggest fan. So shout out to Mark there. Disturbing, but shout out to him nonetheless. Peterson sucks. Yeah, they're both not great. This is a very low level fight. Peterson has beat Canned. That is the truth. What sickos bet Peterson that high? I don't know. We got Ace. Let's get this bread. I agree. What is Peterson even good at? He's decent at wrestling in his ground and pound, but that's about it. 100 gambler fight, yeah, borderline, I'd say. We got Uncle Weezy in the building. Speaking of Uncle Weezy, what is up? All right, I say we move on then. All right, we got Markel Maderos going against Landon Quinones here. We got Maderos opened up -220, currently sitting at -148. Landon Quinones opened up +185, currently sitting at +128. Yeah, it just looks like it's steady line movement in favor of Quinones. He was sitting around +150 for a while, and then just nonstop action. Recently, there's been some buyback on Maderos, it looks like. We'll start with you, Couch Warrior. What are you liking for this fight?
Yeah, so I was torn of how I wanted to go with this one. I think Quinones wins just purely off of pressure and volume and output. And that kind of lines up with what I'm going to go with. So on Bet Online, we have the, the takedowns. So Maderos over 0.5 takedowns is -115, pick 'em. And I like that a lot because if you watch Maderos' fights, anytime he has pressure coming his way, he starts to not handle it so well. And what does he do pretty much every single time that happens? He shoots for a takedown. Quinones is a good wrestler in his own right, but I do think Maderos can get him down at least once. So at pick 'em, I think that's a pretty good bet.
Yeah, yep. I think we've seen a lot of wrestling from him outside of Contender Series and all that. So yeah, I like it. Gordo, how about you? What are you liking for this fight?
Yeah, I do myself a bet on something I don't usually like to play, and that is going to be the over in this spot. I think we have a battle of two guys who are going to go to war. Like someone said in the comments, this could be fight of the night, and it's between two guys who are going to throw a ton of volume. And I just like the durability on both sides. Although Maderos hasn't been tested that much, we know Quinones can take a beating. We know he can continue to push forward. He has good cardio to go out there compete. And I do think we get a very, very fun affair. Now, I personally played the fight starts round 3 to give a little round 3 leeway, but that doesn't pay well enough for speaking of pay well enough. Well, there you go. This doesn't pay well enough for something like this. So give me the over 2.5 here. I'm going to go minus 125. I see best available, and I think that's going to be a play for a fight that I do believe to go to the judges' scorecards more times than not.
There we go. Gordo taking the over. Shout out to Mr. S with the 99.99. Shout out. Huge dono there. Biggest dono in a while. He says OnlyFans by the numbers is back. Kickback for that Neil Magny round 3 prop 2 weeks ago. Yeah, that saved my butt. I mean, if Magny did not finish Malott in the 3rd round, it probably would have been the worst card of my career there. But yeah, 33-1. Magny got it done. I wish he got it done by sub. I think Couch, you were on it as well. Magny round 3 sub plus 10,000.
Plus 10,000, dude. Generational wealth. This close.
Why didn't you sub a Magny? I mean, that was 15 units, but yeah, 5 units off of one prop was incredible. So shout out to Mr. S with the big dono. Appreciate you. And then TB, what are you liking for this fight here?
Yeah, so I'm just going to say I think my $20 or $27 on Maderos minus 135 on DraftKings a half hour ago moved the line to the minus 150, something it's at now. But in all seriousness, I can't play the Maderos money line here. I needed a little something better. So then I'm like, well, Quinones never been finished, even though he's got no defense. He's got some heart and durability. Give me the fight goes the distance. I got plus money on FanDuel. Is it still there? Or did I move that line too with another $20?
I got a plus 100 for you.
Okay, beautiful. I got plus 106. I'm just saying, I'm out here moving lines. It's not about the dollars. It's about, if you can, whatever. But that's the best bet there. Fight goes.
Yeah, let's see. Yes, plus 100 on my bookie. We'll take it. All right. Uncle Weezy says, I'm going to tell you on that over 0.5 takedowns from Madero's couch warrior. That's a silly line. Yeah, I think there's a good chance you're right. I don't see why he wouldn't in a fight that's expected to be very close and competitive on the feet. We got Papa Chuck saying, yo, homie, sorry about the lack of attendance. All good, Papa Chuck. People got things going on. Having 2 boys under 3 makes life crazy. Best of luck to you all today. Best of luck to you, Papa Chuck. Thank you for hanging out. Forrest saying, birds, squirrels, deer, and lawnmowers at Brady's weekly, going all in on Molly McCann and Dolidze. Yeah, I mean, the wildlife has kind of calmed down a little bit, since it's winter. My neighbor hasn't been mowing, but, it's almost that time. The neighbor will be out a couple times a week mowing very shortly. All right. I say we get to the next fight. Then we have Julia Stoliarenko going against Luana Carolina. Never thought I'd see it, but we have Julia Stoliarenko minus 155 now, and we got Luana Carolina plus 135. Looks like there's been some line movement throughout the week. It was about a pick 'em about a week ago, and after the weigh-ins and Carolina missing weight, all the good stuff. Looks like some more monies came in on Julia. I think there's a pretty obvious play going around throughout the community, and rightfully so, but I'm curious to see if any of you guys are on it or if you guys are taking a different approach. We'll start with you, TB. What are you liking for this fight here?
So I saw your tweet. I know exactly what you're talking about. And my thought this whole time has been Julia during her interview talking about how she's a better striker than Luana and wants to prove a point here. I'm spooked, man. I'm thinking it was either Julia inside the distance at like a plus 130, but I think I'm going crazy here. I'm going Julia by knockout. I got plus 1100 on DraftKings. I'm taking the shot, man. I think Luana comes in, misses weight. She makes her cut the extra pound. I think Luana was trying to cheat. I think that's why it was so easy to lose that extra pound, right? And I think Julia's going to listen. I mean, she's probably just going to go for the armbar and whatever, but you got to bring some good stuff to the show. So I'll go plus 1100 KO. I was going to go cheaper on inside the distance, but that's where I end up.
Well, it's plus 1,600 best price out there on Bet Rivers, so even better.
Love it. Give it all to me. I love that. I didn't even place yet. I'm going to go find that best line. I like
One
that.
unit to win 16 units, says TB. That'd be big. We got Gordo. What do you like for this fight?
Yeah, I think I know the play you're alluding to because I'm on that one as well. Julia Stoliarenko is a round 1 armbar merchant, and I will take Julia sub round 1 any day at this number here. I do think it is her major win condition. That is what he is. I do respect the shot in the KO prop by TB majorly, but I do think you got someone in Stoliarenko who is known for these round 1 submissions. We've seen Carolina be submitted in that first round. I got to take the number. Last I checked, we had around plus 400, plus 360. I do not know what it is now. I would love to check, but I do think that's a spot I'll be taking for sure.
Yeah, I see 360. I see 360 for you. We got 138 saying, anyone going to try to catch me this week? Probably not, man. I mean, 138, went up plus 23 units on his turn 2 weeks ago. So he killed it. He hit his best bet. I forget which one it was, but he hit it nonetheless. So 138 off to a very hot start.
Just wait till that Stoia KO, and then TB's right there.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, I'm paying attention. It's Tyler versus Tyler action. I got to catch up to the other one.
Let's go. All right. And then Mike Couch Warrior, what do you got for this one?
Yeah, for this one, I actually really like what TB said. I've been thinking the same exact thing all week. Super underrated power for Stoliarenko, but I'm going to go with something a little different from what you guys were saying. Stoliarenko, I'm going to do wins in round 1 or 2 on DraftKings. It's plus 165. I like that one quite a bit. I understand it's most likely going to be in round 1, but I think it can happen in round 2 as well. How many times do we expect it to happen in this round by this method, and then it happens either by a completely other method or in a different round? So I'm just going to keep it safe. 1 or 2 plus 165.
There you go. I was actually looking at that play earlier in the week as well. I forget what it was, but it has been bet down a tad. So yeah, Couch Warrior taking Stoliarenko 1 or 2 plus 165. Gordo taking the sub 1 plus 360, and then TB taking the Julia by KO plus 1600. We got Ver saying he's got Carolina in this fight. If I was betting Carolina, I would probably lie better, man. If she's able to survive those first 5 minutes, you might get a pretty good price, because I think she's going to get the crap beat out of her for those first 5 minutes if she doesn't get finished there. Don't hate a live bet. Stoliarenko round 1 sub plus 430 auto bets. Yeah, I'm on it myself. I think that's the most likely scenario. Luana weight miss is strategic. It could be, man. It could be. Julia to the moon. Never thought I'd hear that, Martin, but I think this is a good spot. Julia by sub. Fight doesn't go the distance. The only thing I don't like about the fight doesn't go is I just feel like Carolina is not finishing anybody, man. But maybe if Julia is gassed, maybe. Under 2.5 in this chick fight. Pink liking the sprinkle on round 2 KO is probably something astronomical. Like the round 1 KO I saw was like plus 2,000, something crazy. Isn't her inside the distance plus 125? Why take 1 or 2 for such a small price? I think it's because it's hard to see Julia winning in the 3rd round. Like her cardio is terrible. Like I've seen Julia tired in the 1st round of fights, so I think that's why he's going there. Auto bet agreed. Let's get those likes up. I agree. Shout out to Guru. He will be on next week. Guru will be on next week. Looking forward to that. And then Molly Mccan by sub 2. We'll talk about that as well. All right, moving on, guys. We have Young Lee going against Blake Builder. Holy line movement. Is Blake Builder coming in here missing a leg? Like Young Lee is now minus 180. Blake Builder is plus 155. So yeah, some late action coming in on Lee. We'll start with you, Gordo. What are you liking for this fight here?
Originally I was just going to pull a Lou and just whisper pass. I think I still am, but that Builder line is getting more and more intriguing the more it climbs. I do think it's a very, very close fight. However, do not have the strongest read on this fight. It'll be my first pass.
All right, passing on the Lee fight for Gordo. Gordo, you have 2 passes left. TB, you have 2 passes left. And Couch Warrior, you have 3 passes left. So TB, what are you liking for this fight here?
All right, listen, we're getting into the props once again. Blake Builder, originally, I thought he might be one of my dog shots of the week. The more I look into it, he just doesn't wow you in any area. And guys like that, like they're going to be setup fights. So for the 3rd time in a row, they're trying to promote someone. Maybe they weren't trying to promote Kyle Nelson, but it was in Canada, right? So here's Blake Builder again, fighting the guy that won the last Road to the UFC, show. And they're having the Road to the UFC Finals 2 this week. So wouldn't it be nice if Young Lee could just pull off the win? Now, the money line is crazy. Where I ended up is that, like, let's fade the narrative, but not too far. Like, Blake Builder's a tough mofo. This fight's going the distance. It's Young Lee by decision. I got plus 250 on DraftKings. What can you get for me, Brady?
Let's see what I can get for you. It's probably much better than plus 250 on BetRivers or FanDuel. So Lee
probably
by decision is plus 280 best price.
All right, there we go. See, this is nice because generally Guru finds all the best numbers for me, and now I got Brady helping me out. This is even better.
There you go. So you're fading the narrative. You're fading the narrative there.
Yes.
All right. Nothing wrong with that. And then Couch Warrior, what do you like for this fight?
I'm going to pass on this one, I think. I'm looking at Builder at this price. Might add it to my own slate, but I'm going to pass here.
All right. So we got 2 passes on the Lee Builder fight. Nothing wrong with that. McD, he's riding Builder. Surprise Builder is the dog. I'm not my streamer is not working. Surprise Builder's the dog. I'm not surprised he's the dog, but I'm kind of surprised this line's getting blown out this much. I mean, Builder's not bad, and I mean, Lee's just so unproven. Don't hate that mark. Plus 3.5. Builder might be able to steal a round or get a late finish there. Blake looks so good against Shane Young. Lee inside 11 seconds. The B in Builder stands for Bellator. Maybe Melon, that could actually happen. I mean, Lee has like 4 or 5 finishes under 60 seconds, so that's not like the craziest take out there. Experienced UFC vet versus regional can crusher. We'll see how it all works out. All right, guys, we'll keep moving on. We have a very interesting fight here. Striker versus grappler matchup. Pete Rodriguez going against Themba Gimbo. Yeah, the line really hasn't moved much throughout the week. Grimbo's been around like the minus 225, minus 230 range all week. Pete Rodriguez sitting around plus 195. I think there's some good props sticking out for this one. Curious to see how you guys are attacking it. We'll start with you, Couch Warrior. You have 2 passes left. Are you passing on this one, or is something sticking out?
Nah, I got something here. I don't really understand all the Pete Rodriguez love. I'm not going to lie. The dude is so tiny. I don't understand how he's going to strike at range here. When he closes the distance, what's going to like, okay, his boxing is good, but Themba's just going to go for the body lock if he does that. So I'm going with Themba round 2. Pete's never been out of round 1, only in the regionals 1 time. Don't think it's much is going to change here. I do think he's going to be tired, and I think Themba's going to put him away, probably a sub.
All right. Themba round 2 is, I see, plus 475. Plus 475 for round 2. No method, just round 2. All right. So Couch Warrior taking Gimbo round 2. Makes sense to me. TB, what do you like for this fight?
I'm going Pistol Pete, baby. It's round 1 or 2. I saw the face-off. Tell me, he's really that much bigger than him? Really? Gimbo is not. He doesn't have that much size here. I really think Pete filled out to the 170. I know they're trying to throw him to the dumpster. It's just like, I've also watched Themba Gimbo's fights. So give me Pistol Pete on a chance here. Round 1 or 2 plus 290 I got. But listen, man, I know Themba punched around Takashi Sato a little bit. I mean, Takashi Sato, that guy will give up a takedown or give up his back or give you whatever you want, essentially. He just won't give you an easy submission. So, Themba, I'm really not impressed by that matchup. I know you were sick, and man, Pete here, he's been training at MMA Lab. Like, those are some real killers out of that gym. Like, I know the 155 thing was sketchy, but look in the way he filled out. And I mean, he's on some great vitamins right now. Give me that round 1 or 2. Go, Pete.
Yeah, it looked like Rodriguez actually trained for this fight. So we'll see if that works out for him there. Actually trained this time. Let's see. Gordo, what do you like for this fight here?
Yeah, to me, if I had 4 passes, I would pass on this one. I do not have the strongest read. I do think the line is wide. So if I was getting dicey out here, I'd take some Pete KO1 at plus 460. But I'm going to be a little bit of a wimp. I'm going to be a little bit of a casual, a little close one here. And I'm just going to take Gimbo inside the distance. I do think you have a guy here who the UFC is trying to promote. The Rock gave him a damn house. All right. They're trying to promote this guy. And I do think that in doing so, they gave him a guy who we have not really seen wrestle at all, unless in the amateur scene where he was steamroll the mat. And we've never seen him out of round 1. There are many paths of victory for Gimbo to go out there and trying to continue to build a name for himself as a good feel-good story for the UFC. And for that reason, I do think Gimbo gets it done inside the distance. I do think the line is wide, but on a show like this, I'll take it. Give me Gimbo inside the distance.
What is that, like minus 125? I see.
Yes, correct.
From inside the distance, minus 125. I agree. I think the UFC's trying to get him a win, but as we know, that doesn't always work out. So we'll see what happens there. See what you guys got in the chat. Gosh, Melon, I'm not bringing up that comment. I'm not bringing up a couple of these comments, guys. Fight does not go the distance, minus 500. Yeah, I mean, I'd be fairly shocked if this fight did go the distance, considering Pete's never even seen a round 2 as a pro. Somebody asked, why is Pete in the UFC, or how did Pete get to the UFC? He took a short notice fight against Jack Della Maddalena, so they're rewarding him with a couple more fights there. And all right, let's move on to the next fight. We have Azat Moxim going against Charles Johnson. Holy crap. I mean, what's going on? I mean, is Johnson coming in here without an arm? Minus 285 now for Maxim, and I have a bet on Maxim, but at minus 194. So this line has moved a ton, and I'm sure Azat's a very popular parlay piece, but holy crap. Big line movement here. Almost moved a total $1 throughout the week. So Charles Johnson currently sitting at plus 245. Yeah, interesting fight. Curious to see what you guys come up with this one on a very chalky favorite that probably wins by decision. We'll go with you, Gordo. What do you like in here?
Yeah, I'm being the square. I'm being the chalky play on this one. Give me Maxim by decision. -105. It's not the prettiest of things. I do not feel confident about it. But on a fight like this, that seems like the large outcome to me a lot of the time. I think you have a fighter here, Maxim, who has the clear path to victory on the ground. He likes to mix up his wrestling. And on the feet, although I would classify Johnson as a better volume striker, Maxim is no slouch. I do think he has some decent striking technicality down the middle. And when it comes down to it all, better, well-rounded skill set, I do think that is Maxim's here. I know there was a lot of talk earlier in the week about him dropping it to Tyson Nam a bit, being close, but Johnson can be pushed over by a gust of wind. I do think Maxim can utilize that wrestling to steal rounds, and in doing so, can win a decision a lot of the time, considering how tough Johnson is. So give me that decision line. Not the prettiest of thing, not the sharpest of takes here. I apologize, but I do think it is the outcome a large majority of the time.
Yeah, agreed. I think it's the most likely outcome there. We'll go with you, Couch Warrior. What do you like over this fight here?
Yeah, gonna agree with Gordo one more time. I'm going with Maxim by decision -105. This is just the same story with Charles Johnson. Yet another short notice replacement fight against an undefeated Russian guy with good grappling, except this time he also has good striking too. So I think Maxim takes this. I do think he can finish Johnson, maybe like a sub, but I think the most likely outcome is a decision.
Yep, makes sense to me. And then TB, what are you liking?
So I think I'm going a bit crazy here, but I mean, if I want Maxim to cover his price, it's got to be inside the distance at this point. I have Maxim in a parlay -188 before we got past the -200 mark. I'm pretty comfortable keeping that, but what I'm going to add on to it is Maxim inside the distance. I think I saw it on DraftKings around like +290 or so, or +280. My thought is I've seen Charles Johnson hurt on the feet by Cody Durden. I've seen Charles Johnson not be able to stop the leg kicks of Ode Osborne. I've seen Charles Johnson get grappled over and over by two guys that can't really find a finish. I mean, let's be serious. Muhammad Makayev, how long did it take you to finish the one and only Malcolm Gordon? So ultimately, has Charles Johnson really faced a finisher recently? And I know Azat Maxim didn't finish Tyson Nam, but is there a better guy in the UFC at keeping a fight on the feet and throwing absolute ridiculous power to keep you away from closing the distance? Also, those leg kicks were perfectly timed, stumbling him every time he tries to get in close and get something started. I don't think Johnson has any of that timing early in the fight. I think he's going to be getting wrestled and hurt on the feet whenever they're standing. And quite frankly, I think Maxim wins this fight wherever it goes. And I think by round 3, we've seen Charles Johnson's cardio get worse and worse. He's an older dude. He keeps on fighting instead of getting better in camp. The dude fights too often. After the Cody Durden fight, shout out Best Fight Picks. The dude's talking about how backstage Durden tries to tell him, you should be training a little bit more in between fights, try to improve the thing. He's like, nah, fuck that, man. I'm going to get back in there. It's like the dude needs the money. He just had a kid. He's not getting the win bonus, so he's just got to get in there as often as possible. It's a fucking Kevin Holland situation. I think we get the finish here. I know it'd be the first time in Johnson's career, but I got to take a shot.
So you're fading the narrative then?
Again, let's do it.
There you go. No, that's why I took the money line. Like I could see like Maxim throws bombs on the feet, and then he has a slick submission game, and he can also win a decision. That's why I like the money line but I mean, it's completely blown out. Everybody seems to be parlaying him at this point. Odds on decision +115. There you go. You beat some line movement there. Throw on Charles Johnson round 3. I will never bet Charles Johnson round 3 props again. They just don't happen. I mean, he just doesn't try it for him. It's tough to watch. Odds on round 3 decision could be interesting. Hope Johnson wins, but picked against him. Yeah, if Johnson loses, it's going to be 4 losses in a row. Charles Johnson could blind Azat with his shiny head, but outside of that, Azat is better everywhere. Agreed. Charles Johnson sucks. I don't think he sucks. I don't know. I think his takedown defense is a problem, and his urgency. I think his urgency is a big problem there. Azat's going from fighting the strongest takedown defense to the weakest. Yeah, one of the weakest for sure. And yeah, Tyson Nam's takedown defense is elite. It was 100% prior to the Azat fight. And we got Razor. What is up, Razor? Good to see you in here. Shout out to everyone. What is up, fellas? What is up, Razor? Hopefully you are doing well. Bear saying no bets on this one, but I got Maxim. And I think we covered pretty much everything. Watch out, TB. Malcolm Gordon is Gordo's favorite fighter, and that is true. And Gordo got to see him live as well, which was almost nice.
Well, I thought he was Malcolm Gordo, so I'm so confused. Was he not in the octagon that night?
Oh, that was him.
I'm sorry, I disappointed everybody. You
were looking good, dude. You were looking good, and then you got over in the second round.
But sometimes you get hit by Jimmy the Brick Flick, and life just hits you different. Dude,
Holy
I walked
crap.
out of the fights. I met that guy in the urinal. Jimmy the Brick Flick was having the time of his life after the fights,
Oh
you know,
my
and I let him have it. I granted him that win, so I'll do better next time if there is a next time.
Dude, Jimmy Flick, future title contender. I mean, think about it this way. Jimmy Flick submitted Malcolm Gordon in the second. Muhammad Makayev submitted Malcolm Gordon in the third. That's
I want to see
impressive.
it. Flick
That's
versus
impressive.
Makayev.
Oh my gosh, no, I don't want to see that. Gosh,
Hey, we
so
know,
that
we know
was
Perez is going to pull out, man. We know Perez is going to pull out. The Brick will be
yeah.
there.
I mean, I don't know why they even made a line. I saw they made a line for that fight today. Like, what's the point? Perez is not fighting. That dude hasn't fought since like 2019. I mean, I don't know what's going on with Perez, but he's definitely not fighting. All right. So let's see what we got here. We got decisions for Gordo and Couch Warrior for Maxim, and then TB fading the narrative and going with Moxim into the distance of plus 190, which is that's a good number considering this guy's almost minus 300 now. So we'll see what I think one of you three are definitely going to be right. All right, moving on. We have a very interesting fight here. We got Molly McCann going against Diana Belbita. Molly McCann minus 263, Diana Belbita plus 223. This was the first fight I looked into last week. I saw the line of Molly McCann, and I'm like, what the heck? First of all, I was shocked. I thought she was going to get cut after getting submitted by Julio Stoliarenko. And then the more I looked into the fight, the more I think the line's probably about right. But I think there's interesting ways to play this fight rather than laying minus 263 on McCann. So we'll kick it to you first, Gordo. What do you like for this fight here?
Yeah, man, you give me a fight like this and I want no part of it. I've heard the word retirement thrown around on both sides. I do think both fighters have their weaknesses. And this just seems a fight where I'm able to sit back and watch my friends get rich. I see a lot of people on McCann sub. I see a lot of people with different angles on that one. And although I'm cheering for them, this is not a fight I can get involved in. I will be passing on this one.
All right, Gordo using up his second pass. Gordo, you have one more left. We'll go with Couch Warrior. What are you liking for this fight?
Pass.
Any thoughts or just
yeah. Dude, I want nothing to do with this fight. I don't think much has changed since the rematch, other than Molly coming down a weight class here to straw weight. She looked good, though, at weigh-ins. Thought she looked good. I think she still wins this fight. Probably similar, mixes in some wrestling. On the feet, I think she's a little bit more explosive, a little bit more pop to her punch. Belbita's got really good output, really solid striking, too. She can probably hang, and on the feet, she was hanging in their first fight as well. So if I had to bet this, it would be the dog, but I don't want to bet Belbita, so I'm passing.
Fair enough. 2 passes, back-to-back passes. Couch Warrior, you have 1 pass left. Gordo, you have 1 pass left. TB, you have 2 passes left. Are you passing on this fight as well, or is there something that you like?
I actually love something in this fight. So
Okay.
I'm not playing the meatball sub, but let me tell you something. If you're saying that Molly Meatball can't sub, you've obviously not familiar with her resume. Okay. You got to go take a look back because Meatball Molly, she knows how to sub. I don't care about the submission. She just knows how to sub. But at the end of the day, what I have here is the rematches typically don't go the same way as the first fight. And why do we think Molly's just going to cruise to a decision here? She's going to beat the fuck out of her. It's plus 250 for a finish for Meatball Molly. I don't have to play knockout. I don't have to play submission. I'm getting like 2.5 to 1 on her to just finish Diana Belbita, who comes to the weigh-ins in like a teeny bikini. Like, what is she here for? She's here to get her last check. Then she's going to marry Cameron Van Camp, and they're going to go off into whatever Canadian wilderness, have some Romanian children, and do their thing. But Gordo, I know you approve of that because that's what, I'm not saying anything bad about it. I'm just saying that, like, Diana's getting cut after this. Let's be serious. Her, swimming upstream striking style, she's going to get taken down. She's going to get grounded out. I don't know if it's a TKO, and I don't know if it's a submission, but it's Meatball Molly McCann.
There we go. Yeah, I mean, I think the loser is probably retiring here. Like, if McCann loses to Belbita, it's time to hang him up. And it sounds to me like Belbita's like already halfway out at this point too. So I think loser retires, puts their gloves down. But I think Molly McCann does get the job done. Sneak, I'll show you a brick. Please don't do that. Forrest, this comment won't make the show. You're wrong, Forrest. It made the show, and you're on the show right now, Forrest. Shout out to Forrest. Molly's ground game is trash. Belbita by sub. Both ground games are trash, but I think the trashier ground game is most definitely Belbita, believe it or not. Molly sub to the mood. A lot of people are on it. Flick by finish was a roller coaster for me. I was like screaming at the TV, like, what the heck are you doing, Jimmy Flick? I mean, how are you letting Malcolm Gordon do this? And then Malcolm Gordon slipped up, and it was a roller coaster for me as well. Almost had like 50 heart attacks during that fight. Molly's going to win. That's all I know. Putting Molly in a $50 parlay. Molly has already beat this girl, and she's hungry. I think she's the hungrier fighter. Molly is washed. I don't agree with that. Molly should win. I think Molly regains the fake belt in dominant fashion. Maybe she brings the fake belt around after that. Meatball sub. Yeah, I mean, I like meatball subs myself. Mccan by inverted toe hold. That would be insane. Let's see. $50 on Moxim, Molly Mccan, and Kisra. Okay. TB gets it. No faith in Molly the Can. Belbita by decision or KO in round 1. Yeah, that'd be embarrassing if Mccan loses to Belbita here. Do they both retire after? I don't think Molly's gonna. If Molly loses, yes, she should retire. She retired. She almost retired after the Holia beater, which rightfully so. If you're getting subbed by Holia Stoliarenko, you probably should hang him up. I mean, that's incredible. All right, guys. So what we're going to do now is we're going to bring up the bets for the prelims, make sure we got everything right, and then do a quick recap for the chat. We'll start with you, Couch Warrior. The first fight of the night, you're taking Peterson. Fight doesn't go to decision, -115. Maderas over 0.5 takedowns, -115. Stoliarenko round 1 or round 2, +165. Passing on the Lee fight. Gimbo round 2, +475. Maximum decision, +100. And then passing on the Mccan fight. Couch Warrior, does that all look right to you?
Yep.
All right, Gordo, you're taking Peterson. Fight doesn't go, -115. Maderas over 2.5 rounds, -125. Stoliarenko sub 1, +360. Passing on the Lee fight. Gimbo inside the distance, -125. Maximum decision, +100. And then passing on the Mccan fight. Gordo, does all that look right?
That looks right, and it looks like I'm holding hands with Couch Warrior. Let's go.
There we go, holding hands on the show. We got TB passing on the Peterson fight. Got the Maderas fight going the distance, +100. Julia by KO, +1600. Lee by decision, +280. Rodriguez 1-2, +190. Maxim inside the distance, +290. And then Mccan inside the distance, +250. TB, does all that look good to you?
Yes, sir. I'm loving it. We'll have we got a couple passes coming up, but I'm feeling good.
Sounds good to me, guys. All right, if you guys have not already, like the video, subscribe to the channel. We go live every 2 hours prior to the prelims on Saturdays, and I did link down all 3 of these guys' YouTube channels down below. Go check them out, show them some love, and subscribe to them. We're going to kick it off to the main card opener. We got Gilbert Urbina going against Charles Radke. We got Urbina sitting at -206. Charles Radke sitting at +276. There was some early love for Urbina earlier in the week. Went from like around -160 to -200 now. So yeah, interesting fight here to kick off the main card. I think it's a fun fight as well. We'll start with you, Couch Warrior. What are you liking for the main card opener?
Yeah, so I'm going with another Bet Online prop. We're going to go with Charles Radke, more takedowns at +200. For me, I just think Urbina's a little overrated, not really understanding all the love. I think he is the better skill for skill guy here, but in terms of just the matchup, I think he's going to gas. I think he wilts. Radke can gas as well, but I like his cardio a bit more. I like his grappling a bit more. I do think he's going to get takedowns, and I think he's going to get more takedowns than Urbina. So I'm going with that at +200. I think it's a pretty good spot.
So I rarely ever play these, if ever at all. If no takedowns happen or if it's tied, does that push or does it lose?
I think it's a push. I think it's a push. Pretty sure it's a push.
A push would make sense. So just wanted to clarify there. Okay. So Radke more takedowns +200. TB, what are you liking in this main card opener?
I'm actually going to pass here. I had Urbina in a parlay at -188 to Maxim -188. It's +135. I posted it for you guys when I played it, but I'm a pass in general on the rest of this because I'm just a little sketched out. But I'll leave it at that.
Yeah, I mean, it's a very sketchy fight, I'd say. TB, you have one pass, but all you guys have one pass left. Gordo, are you using that one pass, or do you like something here?
No, I'm dialed in. Give me Charlie Radke in this spot right here. I'm taking the dog shot. I do believe that the line is off here, and I think that, you know what, if we compare pure athleticism, sure, Gilbert Urbina is a guy who you do not want to compare yourself to, but I think this is a big spot predicated on recency bias. I mean, we just had Charlie Radke go out there, drop homophobic slurs on the mic after disappointing everyone against Blood Diamond. He's not everyone's favorite fighter right now, right? Whereas Gilbert Urbina went out there against a guy in Kosi who died to make weight or try to. and looked good against that guy. And I think that we're comparing those two values. There's, of course, a world where Urbina goes out there and has success, but I do not think he has success at a minus 200 clip. I think Raty has the ability to contend in the cardio. I think when it comes to pure combinations down the stretch, I do think that Raty is more technical. And I think that in the ground exchanges, Urbina does make mistakes that I do think Charlie Raty can capitalize in. All this to say is I do think this line is wide, and I'm fully content and able to take a shot on Raty at this line. I see plus 176. I see plus 182. Either way, I do think this line is wide, and I'm ready to hear hopefully a better interview on the mic this time.
All right, I'll give you 170. I don't know what the heck SX bet is. I mean, is that a legit book? I don't know, guys.
I could tell you that.
I don't know why they have that on there. Like, I've never heard of that. I'll give you the 176 until we can maybe clarify that. Let's see what you guys got in the chat. Racky by Stoppage. Yeah, the Racky finish props are very juicy, I'd say. You guys just want to hear Racky on the mic. I don't think anybody wants to hear that guy on the mic. Urbina Racky would be one of my past fights for sure. Yes, it's a sketchy fight for sure. Urbina mops the floor with this clown. I think, I don't know. We'll see. Urbina money line in a 3-leg. If it's a tie, it loses. TJ says. For the
sometimes there's 3 ways as well. Like there's you can bet on one fighter to have more takedowns, the other fighter, or a tie. I don't know what market you're betting on here. I could be wrong. So it just, a lot of it depends on the book. I would look further into that before placing.
Okay. Sounds good. Pete Rodriguez looks like an NPC from Saints Row 2. Okay. Plus 176, Racky second round submission, but it can happen in the third round. Forrest taking the Racky sub props. This one's the parlay buster. Could be. I mean, it's hard to trust Urbina at this price, myself personally. The same game parlay, Racky money line and TB to cringe is TB's not cringe. Come on, shut up. Come on.
Listen. That just means I'm doing my job. It's NPC scouting MMA, baby. Bring it on. Let's go.
Dude, TB's funny, man. I like TB. Urbina wins. He better. Haha. Let's see here. Appreciate you, Forrest. Damn, I mean, some of these comments that I got. I'm down UFC breakdown. I mean, that's your second warning today. And I think we covered pretty much who's the Malcolm Gordon fan. I think that's Gordo up top.
I am Malcolm Gordo. Are you kidding me?
Oh, he has Malcolm Gordo. There you go.
Okay, one last thing on this, by the way. A few minutes ago, TB said something about Belbita running away with Cameron Van Camp to Canada. You just saw Canadian men go 0-7, and you want to give us Cameron Van Camp to make things better? That is going to make things so much worse. What are you trying to do to Canadian MMA? All right?
Listen. Here's my thing. I'm just trying to give you guys all the greatness. So you better take Cameron Van Camp. Is there a worse chin out there? I don't think so. That's greatness.
Malcolm
you can't
Gordo.
beat it. See, that's what I'm saying. You got it all. He's got it all.
All right. Alex, I'll bring this up towards the end. I see your question. We'll talk about it towards the end here. Okay, moving on to the next fight. We got what looks to be the talk of the town. I mean, this seems to be the most highly debated fight of the week. We have Alishkab Kizraev going against Mahmoud Muradov. We got Kizraev currently sitting at minus 153. Muradov sitting at plus 133. There's been some love on Muradov throughout the week. This line's closed a little bit. We'll start with UTB. What are you liking for this fight here?
Damn it. This is where I'm going to take some narrative. I'm on the Muradov side. I got a better number than you're going to give me, but I'll take the money line. I'm not sure where it happens. I think his wrestling is a little bit underrated from the Gerald Mearshart experience. And quite frankly, Bahalio is elite. You know, it doesn't get any better. And for him to land the takedowns, even though, the guillotine reversal, only thing you could do, shout out Best Fight Picks, is to roll to your back to get less pressure on the choke. So I think Muradov in general here, Kizraev is a lot worse in my mind than Bahalio, and Muradov gave that guy a fucking fight. So I got Muradov money line as actually, I mean, it's not my best bet, but I feel good about it.
So is it your best bet for the show?
No, I have another one coming up.
So did you pass or
no? I have Muradov as the money line play, but it's not my actual best bet, but it feels really good.
Okay, I got you. Uncle Weezy saying Blake Builder's plus 173 on BetOnline right now. The line movement is bananas. Looks like maybe somebody knows something. Yeah, Weezy, apparently Blake Builder is going to be the first fighter in UFC history to fight blindfolded. They're actually going to put a blindfold on Blake Builder, so he's going to be at a pretty big disadvantage, and that's why money's coming in on Jung Gung Lee. So we'll see if Blake Builder can be the first blindfolded fighter to go out there and win a fight. Couch Warrior, what are you liking for this fight here?
Yeah, so I'm on Murov, but I'm not going to pick him for the show just because I got a much better price. I have him at plus 165. Going to go with chalk here. I'm going to go with fight doesn't go to fight ends inside the distance. Minus 150, I think, is the best price. So just going to go with that one. I think that actually, no. I wanted to give a different one for this show. Changing my mind. I'm going to go with Hizriev round 2 submission for the show at plus 1100. I think I saw. I think that is a good spot. Murov has been submitted, I believe, 4 or 5 times. Hizriev, great grappling, really good submission grappling. While I do think that Murov plus 165 was the value, I think that the most value right now is on the Hizriev round 2 sub. I like that one quite a bit.
There you go. Went from a minus 150 to a plus 1100. Heck yeah.
Changed my mind.
There you go. And then last but not least, Gordo, what are you liking for this fight here?
Yeah, I unfortunately will not be following the plus money train here, taking some with a little bit of chalk, but something I'm playing myself in my slate and might as well talk about it here. I'm taking the fight doesn't go the distance. I think this is a fight between two guys who are going to go out there and look to give it their all. Kizriev's a guy we haven't seen really face much adversity. He's someone who typically has a lot of success round 1, and I'm hoping Murov can go out there and give him that fight and have some later success. However, I'm completely aware that I do believe that Kizriev has an advantage on the ground early on, and I do think he has the ability to go out there and get an early finish. The question I have is if Murov's able to put up resistance in round 1 and 2, Murov is able to carry power late. He's able to go out there and have round 3 finishes on his record. And I do think he can drag Kizriev to deep waters and try to take care of that 0. All this to say is I do think this fight ends inside the distance. Minus 150. I'll take that any day.
All right. Fight doesn't go. Minus 150 for Gordo. Monk's saying Blake blinder. Right? Yeah, maybe he is going in there a little bit blind with the blindfold. We'll see. The line movement is kind of crazy. I don't think Lee's that proven. One arm behind his back could be the case for sure. Kizriev had a suspect striking defense against Dennis Tuolumne, and his other past fights eats a lot of straight rights. Murov has a disgusting straight right. I think he could starch Kizriev easy. Yeah, that's kind of why I agree with the fight doesn't go takes. I think Kizriev's very, very alive for a submission. And then I think, Murov has some power, and Kizriev, he's never been knocked out, but Murov's a very good striker. Kizriev arm triangle super live. I'm kind of thinking a rear naked choke. We got 500. Yeah, 500 watching, which, by the way, guys, thank you for hanging out. That's an incredible number. Football season's finally almost over, so these numbers are going to start popping back up. Yeah, if we can get 100 likes by the time this is over, that'd be sweet. Monk is on fire. Yeah, I put it on the screen, Monk. I put it on. Good stuff. Oh my gosh, I cannot bring up that comment, Matt.
Yeah.
But,
I think it's true, though. I think it's true.
It is.
Yes.
It's confirmed. Shout out to my guy Lou Sassoli. We'll call him Lou Sassoli. And shout out to Uncle Weezy for making that up. I don't want to say the English version, but we'll do the French version. Lou Sassoli on Twitter. He did confirm that Murov got into some things in the past, and it's not.
Baby.
Make some things get into him.
Yeah.
My word. My word.
Maybe that's why it's such a popular dog this week. But I'm definitely not getting into it. Definitely not getting into it. All right, we'll move on then. We have Natalia Silva going against Vivan. And Gordo, you're wrong for that. Gordo, you are wrong for what you just said. Was that you?
Oh.
Some things got into him. Are you serious? That is disgusting. That is disgusting. All right, Natalia Silva. What the heck just happened? Just refresh the odds. Natalia Silva went from minus 360 to minus 305 in the last hour. Somebody put a big bet on 37-year-old Vivan, it looks like. Vivan now plus 245. So, yeah, Vivan was plus 300 and went to plus 245 in the last 30 minutes. So, some interesting late line movement there on BetOnline Sportsbook. We'll start with UTB. What are you liking on this fight here?
I'm going to make this the best bet. Give me Silva inside the distance. I think the reign of Araujo not being finished comes to an end here. We've seen her knocked down by the likes of Amanda Hibosh's striking. Of course, she has a good time against Jennifer low-volume Maya, but give me Silva inside the distance. I think even if it's not working out to her favor on the feet, if Araujo goes for a takedown and Silva's able to kind of snatch up a guillotine, get a triangle from her back, I think that there's multiple ways that Silva could finish this fight. And I think her cardio and activity is going to be way higher. She's not going to give Araujo those rest periods that she needs. And, might as well take the chance. I think I got plus 300 on DraftKings on that bad boy.
Holy crap. Silva inside the distance plus 300. I mean, UFC, I mean, I haven't blocked anybody all year, and we're in February, which is very impressive. I can't bring up some of your comments. Like, if I bring up some of your comments, I will get kicked off of YouTube. I'm not against free speech, but I mean, let's cool it. You're saying terrible things in the chat. You're lucky I haven't even banned you for life at this point. So I'm not against free speech, but my goodness, you're gonna get me in trouble. So my gosh. So you might be the first person I blocked. Like, you have one more chance, dude. Like, you're taking some of these comments way too far. Gordo, what are you liking for this fight here?
Bit thrown off, but we'll keep on going. No, typically I am someone who likes to play it cautious, likes to go out there, win some units. Let's have some fun. Natalia Silva, round 3 plus 1,200 is what I'm going with on this spot right here. I do think it's a spot where she's able to accumulate volume and damage Araujo down the stretch. We've seen Araujo slow down in fights before, and there's no denying that Silva's striking, her technicality and her precision has just been on point. I do think she's able to go out there and break Araujo, and Silva's been someone who I do like to see. She's been on a fast track to the top, and I do think it continues here against an older fighter in Araujo. I'm all for a third round finish. Give me that any day.
You said the inside the distance, or
no? Round 3 plus 1,200.
Okay, my God. I mean, sorry, that guy. He threw me off. He's throwing me off my game. 300, 12, okay, 1,200 for round 3. Silva, I like it. And then Couch Warrior, what do you like for this fight?
Yeah, me and Gordo are going to hold hands again. I'm going with Silva round 3 as well. Araujo, a little bit gassy. I think she's not as gassy as we made her out to be, at least a lot of people during this week, but I do think she'll slow down. I think Silva is just real good, just so clean everywhere. And if Araujo does take her down, I think she can sub her. I think she can finish her on the feet once Araujo is more tired. And I do think it'll come later in round 3. So that's what we're going to go with here.
All right. So 2 guys on the round 3. I'm on it as well. So for what it's worth, Vivi has literally 0 chance. I mean, everybody has a chance. It's MMA, but yeah, I'd be pretty surprised if Vivi did pull it off. Silva smashes here. Agreed. Yeah, plus 300 for the inside the distance. That is nice. Some more Murov comments. Let's see here. All right. Something going on in the chat. It seems it'll be a little hostile in the chat, it looks like. And I think I brought up everything that I can bring up at this point. So actually, there is one more thing. Natalia Silva makes her opponents look they are fighting at 0.5 playback speed. I think that's going to be the case here. I mean, Natalia Silva is like 10 years younger, so I agree. Pogues or Peterson pie eating contest. Draw.
That's tough.
That is tough. Appreciate you, Spencer. Would you smash Natalia Silva? No, but I would smash those round 2, round 3 props. That's what I'm smashing.
And the like button.
That's the only thing I'm smashing. What's up with these? What's up with you guys at Murov? I can't pull up these comments. He accepts bottom position on tape. What's wrong with you guys? What is wrong with some of you guys in the chat? All right, we'll move on to this next fight. We got Randy Brown minus 265 going against Muslim Salikov plus 225. And there's been some last second love throughout the week on Randy Brown. Randy Brown is we went from like minus 230 to like minus, I think it was like minus 280 at one point. I think a lot of that has to do with TB. I think it was either you or Guru that posted this picture circulating of Muslim Salikov. And I talked about it all week. This guy is not 39 years old. I was thinking maybe 39 like times 2. I think would be more appropriate. I think this guy is 70 years old. I think he's a liar, and there's no way he's 39 years old. So I think that's why some monies came in on Brown after that picture, kind of was circulating around Twitter. But we'll start with UTB. What are you liking for this fight here?
I'm so sorry. I have to pass. I feel like it's incoming elder abuse, and if I'm affiliated at all, the cops might have to question me. But at the same time, like Salikov, we're talking about betting Randy Brown at minus 250. That's why I have to pass. No matter what you do, it's terrible. So I apologize if you guys have a good bet on this one, but I just couldn't bring myself to do it.
Oh, good. I'm passing on it myself for what it's worth. Passing on this fight. TB, you have used up all 3 of your passes there. Gordo, what are you liking for this fight?
Same thing. I'm passing on this one as well. I debated it long and hard. I was tempted to go towards a fight doesn't go and cheer for some violence, but I could not get behind that. I'll be using my final pass.
All right, 2 passes in a row, and then Couch Warrior. You have 1 pass left. Are you passing on this one, or you like something here?
Nah, I'm going contrarian here. I've seen so much Randy Brown love. I'm riding with Muslim Salikov plus 225. I've bet it with my real money as well. I think that this is going to be a close fight. I don't think, like a lot of people are saying, that Randy Brown will have grappling success. I highly doubt it. I think that Salikov is the better grappler, both offensively and defensively. I think that Salikov on the feet, he's going to have less output, and that's the thing that held me back. That's the reason I didn't bet it the first time this matchup was made. But you know what? Randy Brown doesn't always have amazing output either. The Wellington Turman fight, to me, is one of the reasons I got to this. If you pressure the guy back up, you get him up against the fence. His clinch game is good, yes, but he's less comfortable there. He can't use his 8-inch reach advantage. Salikov will stalk forward. I love the counters. His hands are really clean. He just doesn't throw them as much as I'd like. And I wish he threw a little bit less of the fancy kicks, but I do think that he's going to win this fight. I think he probably knocks him out, but I also wouldn't be shocked by a decision, so I'm not going to get funky with it. Just going to ride the money line. I think he's being a little bit underrated here. Give me Muslim Salikov.
All right, Couch Warrior fading the narrative. Salikov's going to walk out with a walker out to the cage.
Give me the 60-year-old man.
Maybe he can knock out Randy Brown with his cane. I mean, those canes, those are depending on the cane type of cane, those canes can do some damage. So we'll see.
Some of them have like a knife in them too. The canes with a knife.
I don't know if they'll let those in there, but maybe they'll let like a wooden cane in the cage, and maybe a wooden cane can knock out a very chinny Randy Brown. So we shall see. Uncle Weezy saying, "Come on, and guys, Pogues wins the pie eating contest." We'll see. What is up, Mados? Thank you for hanging out. Pogues is gonna shock the world. A lot of people on him this week. A lot of people on Pogues this week. Brown by KO. Green olives on pizza. I can't do it, man. You guys would you guys eat green olives on a pizza?
No. I don't like black olives on a pizza. So
come on. I don't know. 2N. I don't know. Salikov's about 51. Yeah, add 20 years onto that, and then I think you're about right. Thoughts on this parlay? Gimbo, Mccan, Urbina, Kizrev, Silva. I just wouldn't parlay Urbina, and I really even wouldn't parlay Gimbo, but I don't know. What do you guys think? Anybody like that?
I just don't like the Urbina leg.
Yeah.
I mean, that'd be the one that sketches me out. And like I said, even Gimbo sketches me out a tiny bit, even though I think he wins. We got Tajik Bey in the chat. What is up, Tajik? Best of luck to you today. Randy Brown getting KO'd by JDM is still one of the funniest looking KOs in a long time. I thought he got subbed at the club and subbed. Let's see here. Randy Brown by decision. Randy Brown, yeah, I had a bet on Randy Brown against Wellington Turman. He won the fight, but I wasn't too happy with the performance. Goodness, the chat's a little crazy today, which is fine. I appreciate you all hanging out. 500 of you, by the way. Appreciate you guys. Pogues via butt splash. Get out of here. Let's see. McCann retires the meatball today. What does that mean?
It's your biggest fan. Be nice.
It is Mark is my biggest fan. Shout out to Mark. Love Mark. Gimbo will make you sweat for that. I think it could. And we got 109 likes, so that's 100 likes right there. I mean, that's always the goal. So shout out to you guys for smashing the like button. Appreciate you guys. All right. Goodness. Wait. I was going to go to Miami for $299, but man, these ticket prices are just ridiculous. Like the cheapest ticket price is like what, $450, $500, and then Miami's expensive in general. So I don't know, man. I wanted to go to Miami, but I might just try to go out to Vegas for UFC 300. Wavy with the 99-cent donut. Appreciate you, Wavy. Thank you for the support, man. All right, guys, we'll move on to the next fight. We have the co-main event. Very fun fight here. I think there's a couple of very good ways to attack this fight. We have Renato Moicano going against Drew Dober. Moicano ballooned all the way up to like minus 200 at one point. He's back to minus 180. Drew Dober is sitting at plus 155. We'll kick it to you first, Gordo. What are you liking for this fight here? Never mind. I just refreshed it. He's now minus 2. Moicano, minus 2 away. So late money on Moicano. Gordo, what do you like for this fight here?
Yeah, this fight's a tough one for me because I did bet Moicano earlier in the week, so he was the play I was looking to give out. But there's no way I can get behind just saying, yeah, take Moicano at minus 199. That's great, guys. So I got to go out there and find a different way to play it, and I think I'm going to do so with the Moicano submission, that being his major path to victory. Now, for the viewing pleasure, I would appreciate you, Brady, if you can just scroll down a little bit toward the submission line.
Of course.
Oh,
All about pleasure here on the show.
look at that control there.
What's this Moicano by submission plus 1,200? That's what I want to know. What is Jazz Sports?
Yeah.
You giving this to me or what?
Utah Jazz?
I'm not giving that to you because there's no way that's real. And if it's real, somebody's getting fired. I mean,
if you have access to that, that would be my play this week. Either way, though, on this fight, I am going to take something of that regard. I am going to try to cut down the minus 200 price tag towards a
200. I see a 200 on Betway, which is a legit book.
To a plus 200, then I do think that that's a good way to turn a minus 200 to a plus 200, considering the path to victory for Moicano can largely be reliant on the ground. I could see a decision win for Moicano. However, I'm willing to take the 2-1 odds that he is able to get a submission. He is going to be the much better grappler. We have seen Dober submitted. So give me Moicano by submission as a way to cut down that money line.
Sorry, Wavy, I didn't see your comment till now. Racky for the win. So I'm picking Racky. I'm not extremely confident, but I did take a shot on like the Racky KO at plus 600. I think Urbina's hittable and potentially chinny. I like the under as well for the Racky Urbina fight, but I'm not extremely confident in Racky. But I also want to be confident in laying minus 220 on Urbina. Gordo, you're picking Racky, right? And I think you just took the money line. In betting. TB, you're on. I forget what you're on. The Urbina, right?
Yeah. Yep.
But you're passing, and then
I passed her. Yeah.
And then Couch Warrior, what do you got for that one?
On the Racky Urbina one?
Yeah,
I'm on Racky as well.
So we got 3 out of the 4 on Racky for what it's worth. TB, what are you liking for this co-main event?
I was in a similar place as Gordo coming in, nabbing Renato Moicano at minus 130 in the earlier, whenever it happened. But here I am, and I'm saying, well, I understand the submission idea, but Drew Dober, I mean, the dude gets knocked down by just about everybody these days. And before Moicano submitted Hernandez, before Moicano submitted Brad Riddell, I mean, he's knocking these guys down. He's hurting them. What if this is the time where I got to be careful and just take inside the distance at plus 100 instead of going the full way of taking the submission? It's only a few points difference, and I'm still getting plus money for you guys on the show. So let's take Moicano inside the distance just to play it a little safe. I wanted to do like an over 1.5, but I'm like, Drew gets knocked down early often. So knocked down, I should say. So I'm not too confident either way. I think he could just nail up the sub like he always does after he knocks him down, but I'll play it a little safer here. Give me that plus 100.
So you're semi-fading the narrative. You want to take the inside
semi.
All right,
like not the Jedi, but just semi.
Yeah. Hopefully not Semo the Jedi. That guy.
Please, I can't ever do that again.
That guy's pissing me off with what he's doing lately. And then Couch Warrior, what are you liking for this one?
This is going to be my last pass for this one. I played Moicano. I like him in this fight, but I got like an early line. I got plus 115 on Moicano, which is tremendously different from where we're at now. So I'm going to pass here.
All right. So all 3 have used up their passes. We have one more fight to talk about. Let's hit us some comments here. No action on this one, but I got Dober. Mark saying you guys are kind of mean. I feel like I'm taking on the chin from Brady Weekly. My God, Mark.
Oh, baby.
Moicano ground and pound round 1. Yeah, Moicano KO is probably something silly. Moicano KO is plus 800. I think he has no knockouts ever, believe it or not. Dober sub. Holy crap. Dober sub is plus 3,000.
That's on Jazz Sports, baby.
Oh yeah, the liars. Jazz Sports. They're clearly lying, but it looks like plus 2,200 on an actual book. 2-1 sub on Betway. Yeah, DK has like plus 120. Betway is plus 200 right now. Goodness. Drew Dober's going to bounce back. I feel he doesn't need to bounce back. He just got a first round knockout win over Ricky Glenn, a fight that should not have been sanctioned whatsoever. Over 1.5. I think it's sneaky but terrifying. I don't know if I can bet that, but I don't hate it. And Dolidze round 3 sub out of nowhere. Dolidze's always live for that. Dober is knocking Moicano out in the second, calling a shot 138. Second round KO for Dober, which I think was plus 850 I saw. And Okay. All right. Main event time. Main event time. Let's smash the like button. Let's keep getting those likes up. Subscribe to the channel. We'll be back next week with some more guys on 2 hours prior to the prelims. And then once again, go subscribe to these guys as well. Links in the description. We got Nassourdine Imavov going against Roman Dolidze in this main event. Yeah, kind of interested or kind of intrigued by like the line movement here because a lot of people are on Dolidze, and I think rightfully so. It's a fight that I kind of struggled with in terms of, going out there and making a pick, but I kind of expected this line to close up. Dolidze, a fan favorite. People love this guy. People like to get behind this guy. And Nassourdine Imavov is currently minus 170. He was sitting around like minus 137 earlier in the week, it looks like. So minus 170 now for Nassourdine Imavov. Curious to see how you guys are attacking this main event. We'll start with you, Couch Warrior. What are you liking for this main event here?
Yeah, so I went with Dolidze, decision no action. I believe it's plus 120. I think it's entirely possible that Dolidze does win a decision. I think that, he looked better in the Vettori fight with the cardio. He still seemed to slow down a little bit, so I'm not sure how he's going to be in 4 and 5. That's why I didn't just go with the money line. And can Imavov finish Dolidze late? Maybe, but he also slows down. So I don't know if he's going to have that pop in the 4th or 5th rounds that he's going to need. So I like Dolidze. I think that his pressure is going to make it real hard for Imavov to play his game. Imavov needs to move laterally constantly, keep his range, and Dolidze is not going to let that happen. He's going to be hitting leg kicks, which I think is a super important weapon here. And once he gets up close, the dude is so dangerous, so opportunistic. I think he can get a sub from whatever position. So I'm going to go with Dolidze, decision, no action. I think it's like plus 120 on DraftKings.
All right. Decision no action, aka finish only, plus 120 on Dolidze for Couch Warrior. We'll go to you, Gordo. What are you liking for this main event?
I can't believe it. I'm on the exact same thing. I bet it myself.
Holding hands.
It's been the whole card. It seems like Mike and I are on the same page on a lot of these. So hope we both able to make some money here. But no, I completely agree. I think when you look at this fight as a whole, there's a complete opportunity for Imavov to win a decision. He is a sharp striker. We have seen Dolidze have the ability to be hit. But I think when we look at finish opportunities, when we say, yes, a finish will materialize, I can't see a finish for Imavov happening more than 50% of the time like the line entails. I think actually Dolidze is the more dangerous guy. He has the ability to be an opportunistic finisher, whether it be with power on the feet, but more likely than not with submission upside. On the ground in the clinch, the guy is an absolute killer with the able to find those finishes at any time. And I think that if there is a finish materializing, more times than not, it is going to be Dolidze getting it done. So I do think he has more opportunities to get it there. I love the line we have here. I bet it myself, and it is one of my favorite bets on the card. I do think Dolidze gets a finish more often than Imavov does.
Yep. I'm not betting the main event, but that was the one spot I had circled. If I was to bet it, Dolidze finish only. It's hard to see anybody finishing Roman Dolidze. So, TB, are you fading the narrative, or is there something else you like here?
It's Roman inside the distance. I've been a Roman truther ever since the guy started up at 205. I think everyone was laughing at him for a short period of time as he's rolling for these slow-ass arm bars. But at the same time, when do you ever see a guy at 205 rolling for arm bars like that? The dude's hips are absolutely unreal. His grappling is on a whole other level. It's like the Paul Craig, if Paul Craig had a chin and was actually like a decent striker and had solid wrestling. Like, I really like Roman Dolidze as a fighter. I think he wins this fight inside the distance. I think Imavov has shown, you couldn't knock out Phil Hawes. Do we need to have you checked out, Nassourdine? Because you went 15 minutes with the chin of Phil Hawes and you couldn't knock him out. So how are you going to give Roman Dolidze any trouble on the feet? This isn't Joaquin Buckley, who should be at 170. I'm sorry, man. Roman is just I know they kind of look the same size at face-offs, but if you look at the last 3 weigh-ins for Imavov, he's taking more and more steroids for each fight. And he's bulking out to a point where I don't even know if he's going to be the faster fighter anymore. The dude is way too thick at this point. He came into the Strickland fight when it was a catch weight, and he didn't even make the full catch weight. I think he kind of adjusted the wrong way. I think he really needed to hone in on his cardio. Getting bigger, this dude's getting finished, man. I don't think Imavov likes getting touched. He's got that kind of I like prance around the outside, and when things don't go right, I'm shooting for the takedown. But you can't just shoot for the takedown on Roman Dolidze. So give me Dolidze inside the distance. I couldn't make it my best bet because, I didn't think I would get as good of a line as the other one I did. But, man, I bet him straight up, but I'm going to go for inside the distance to get a better odds on this show here. And I think all you guys should too.
All right. Dolidze inside the distance plus 225. Did we cover the Pogues fight? Yeah, we unfortunately did cover that fight.
I did, and I passed.
Yeah, we unfortunately had to talk about that one. Bad matchup for Dolidze. I feel like a lot of matchups are bad for Dolidze. He just finds a way to win a lot of times. Roman by finish. Some serious line movement, the last hour, and I agree. Uncle Weezy brought it up that Blake Builder line. Oh my gosh, Jung Ung Lee's minus 203. What is?
Dude, I already played Builder after I saw it. He's plus 173 now.
Holy crap! What's going on? I mean, goodness. What else we got? I think that some late Pete loves. Gimbo less than minus 200 now. Moxim approaching minus 300. He probably becomes minus 300 for fight time. That's terrifying considering beat a ton of line movement. And that's about it. But yeah, that Builder line moved a ton. Some late money on Randy Brown. That's about it. But yeah, the Builder line sticks out the most. Something's up. I mean, if you're laying minus 200 on Jung Ung Lee, I think something's wrong with you, to be honest. He could win. He could knock him out, I think, but minus 200, I don't know. Roman sub, late round 2. Drew by KO. We got Max and Georgia on the Dolidze side. Roman by more testosterone. There you go. Let's go, says Jay. No more sleeps. The fights are starting in about 50 minutes. Heck yeah. I'm on the Dolidze finish only as well. I think he's live to break Imavov. We shall see. He fought Hawes before Hawes' chin was absolutely dusted. Yeah, he did.
It was always dusted, though.
Oh, yeah, it was always low-key dusted. Now people are figuring it out. Dolidze has no subs. Strange narrative. What? This guy's like an elite grappler.
Yeah, dude. I mean, I get if it's on paper you're talking about, but that means you haven't watched the tape. So go ahead, go watch like an hour of Roman tape. Like UFC won't actually start the first fight until 4:15. So like, go ahead, go do a little research and come back to the comments after the show and just say, okay, you're right. Roman has legit grappling. I'll forgive you. It's okay. You have.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not picking one by sub in this fight, but I mean, his grappling's elite, like very good grappling.
Yeah, that's all.
Let's see here. This is a Walmart version of Strickland DDP. Roman finish only, no action, plus 100 for Josh as well. And did Roman have an injury or something? It looks weird. Yeah, I saw that picture as well. I think so.
Maybe just holding Cheyenne Bays' baby is we're putting too much weight on that bicep.
Yeah, I can't say anything about Roman Dolidze anymore. I don't want to get into it, but
I love the guy. Love the guy.
He's a great guy. Great, nice man. All right, so what we're gonna do now is we're going to go and recap these bets here. And then, as always, at the end, after recap and make sure everything's correct, we're going to give our best bet of the card. Last week, I wish I remembered what 2 weeks ago. I wish I remembered what 138 hit. I think he hit Jasmine round 3, maybe, and then made it his best bet. I think that's what he did.
I think it was Jillian knockout, if I remember correctly.
It was what?
Jillian knockout.
Oh yeah, it was Jillian knockout round 2.
Round 2.
Yeah, and then he made it his best bet. It was a big hit, regardless.
Crazy.
So what we're gonna do is do our best bet. If you hit your best bet, your profit's going to double. So say, for example, TB's best bet is, for some reason, Julia Stoliarenko plus 1,600. If he hits that best bet, it's plus 32 units, and he probably wins the whole show. But yeah, we'll get into it here. So Couch Warrior taking Peterson fight doesn't go to decision to kick it off, minus 115. Maderos over 0.5 takedowns, minus 115. Stoliarenko round 1, round 2, plus 165. You're passing on the Lee fight. Remember round 2, plus 475. Maximum decision, plus 100. Passing on the McCann fight. Raty more takedowns, plus 200. Kizrev round 2 sub, plus 1,100. Silva round 3, plus 1,200. Muslim Salikov plus 225. Passing on the Moicano fight. And then the Dolidze finish only. Does that all look right? And if so, what is your best bet of the entire card?
Yeah, that looks all right. And for the best bet, I'm going to go with Kizrev round 2 sub.
All right. Kizrev round 2 sub to win 22 units there. You have 45 minutes. Yeah, well, great freaking call, dude. Robinson KO making your best bet. Matt liking the club and sub there. Good luck to you as well, Jason. All right, so Gordo, you are taking Peterson fight doesn't go, minus 115. Maderos over 2.5 rounds, minus 125. Stoliarenko sub 1 plus 360. You're passing on the Lee fight. You're taking Gimbo inside the distance, -125, Moxim decision, +100. You're passing on the McCann fight. You're taking Charles Raty money line, +176. Kizriev, the fight doesn't go to decision, -150. Silva round 3, +1200. You're passing on the Brown fight. You're taking Moicano sub, +200. And then Dolidze finish only +120. Does all that look right? And if so, what is your best bet of the card?
All that does look right. I do have to say, me and Couch Warriors, they look pretty good together. So hopefully we're both able to cash. And then shout out to TB for keeping it all plus money. On my side of things, I think my best bet's pretty obvious this week. Let's get the most units possible. Silva, round 3, +1200. If that hits, it'll be +24 units. Give me that.
Looking for 24 units for Gordo there. I like it. I'm on it myself, so we'll see. And then we got TB. You are passing on the Peterson's fight. You're taking Madeira's fight, goes to decision, +100. Julia, KO, +1600. Lee by decision, +280. Rodriguez, round 1, round 2 in general, +190. Moxim inside the distance, +290. Mccan inside the distance, +250. You're passing on the Urbina fight. You're taking the Murov money line, +130. Silva inside the distance, +300. You're passing on the Brown fight. You're taking Moicano, +100. And then Dolidze inside the distance. Is all that look right? And if so, what is your best bet of the card?
Yes, it's correct. I'm hoping for it's going to be Silva inside the distance, but I'm hoping for round 1 or 2. I'm sorry, Gordo. I don't want to let you get that big of a lead, but give me Silva inside the distance as the best bet.
Silva inside the distance to win.
I was cheering for your success.
Yeah, kind of messed up.
Listen, I appreciate you, and if you do hit it, I will celebrate your winnings. But I'm just hoping. Okay, I'm hoping.
It sounds like it's a lie. All right, first you give me Cameron Van Camp, now you want what's going on?
Listen, we could work out negotiations. You know,
sickening. All right. What we'll do now is we're going to kick it around. Gordo, any final thoughts on the card, and also let the people know where they can find you?
Yeah, I appreciate you having me on. Appreciate everybody for tuning in. Make sure to hit the like button one more time. Show some love to Brady. I love the work he does each week. He's very hardworking, and he deserves all the best. So make sure to show him some love there. Also appreciate TB and Mike for the show. Check them out as well. They do great work, and I'm looking forward to competing with them as well as everybody else on this content. You can find my own work at the Plays and Fades YouTube channel on YouTube. I posted a full card breakdown for both DraftKings and betting perspective, as well as a 5-minute best bet video where I just covered my best bets myself. I know you heard them all, but if you want to go check it out, you know where to find the like button over there as well. Show some love there, as well as my full slate of bets posted on my Twitter at GamblesGordo. I wish everyone all the best of luck on all your betting endeavors this weekend, and let's make some money, guys.
Let's do it. Thanks for coming on. Gordo, best of luck to you this week. At TB, let the people know where they can find you. Any final thoughts on the card or anything in general?
Hey, one thing I've been learning from a lot of people in the community, and something you should continue to do, just bet responsibly. Know how much you're willing to lose on a single night. Don't chase your losses, and have a good time. Don't take yourself too seriously. Everyone's going to have winning and losing nights. So just make sure that whatever you could potentially lose, that, you know, you can still afford your rent the next day. But really appreciate Brady bringing me on the show this year. It's going to be a really fun time. As you can tell, you can catch me on Chronic Combat Conversations. We go live every Wednesday. Me and the Guru, you guys will see him next week. Not that MMA Guru, he's Guru Scouting MMA, but we have a great time. It's really about the entertainment and the conversation and making sure we flesh out the fights fully. So shout out Gordo and Couch Warrior. Have had those guys on the show. I've been doing content with them before. So there's a nice set of familiar faces, really good guys. I've met them. I met Couch Warrior in person, but I got to add Gordo and DFS to that list by the end of the day. So I appreciate all these really great guys in the space. There's a lot of scammers and bad people out there, but if there's someone that you want to give your money to and like follow their content, these are real honest gentlemen that do great work. So thank you so much for having me on, Brady.
Thank you for the kind words and the wisdom from TB. Shout out to TB. And yeah, Guru will be on next week there. And then last but not least, Couch Warrior, let the people know where they can find you, and any final thoughts on the card or anything in general.
Yeah, first off, thanks for having me on, Brady. Really hyped to be doing the show. TB, Guru, Gordo, as always, good to see you guys. Good to break down fights with you. Yeah, I said Guru by accident at first. Final thoughts on the card is Blake Builder is now +173, which I think is just irresponsible on the part of sportsbooks. So I do think that's a great bet, and I am adding it to my slate. And yeah, I do have my own channel, Couch Warrior Podcast on YouTube. Please subscribe if you are down. My Twitter is Couch Warrior Pod. That's where I post my bets when I make them. They go to my Discord first, and it's 100% free. You can find the links also on my YouTube. Check that out. I did put up a video on Tuesday breaking down the whole card. And if you want real quick breakdowns, 1 minute each, I do my YouTube shorts every single week. I put up for every single fight on the card, just 1 minute. I talk fast, so I think I get in a lot of information. And yeah, check those out. And Brady, thanks again.
Sounds good. And then I do want to shout out the donos for the show. Shout out to Mr. S. Big dono. Appreciate Mr. S. Glad you were able to hit that Neil Magny round 3. That was incredible. And then shout out to Wavy as well at the 99 cents. And I appreciate all you hanging out. If you guys could leave a like on your way out, subscribe to the channel on your way out, subscribe to these guys on your way out, and enjoy some fights. This card is going to be fun. I'm loving this card from a fan perspective, from a betting perspective, and hopefully we can hit some props today, some money lines, and enjoy the fights, guys. See you later.